early in the preseason, I start hearing things about how the Packers, I look at the odds, and they're always like among that second tier of most favored teams, and it's all because of him. It's not because of anything else, so I'm going to say no, not real Super Bowl contenders.
I'm going to say they are because he is who he is, and you have to have the confidence that he'll figure it out, particularly if he has a defense to work with. Now, last night was not impressive. Obviously, we've seen they're vulnerable against the run. There is no doubt about that. They got smacked around a little bit, but the flip side to it is that, again, even though they lost the game, you still saw them put up 27 points. You're trying to get the feeling that maybe, just maybe, him and LaFleur will figure it out. In the end, what it comes down to with Aaron Rodgers, do I have faith in him? Yes. You give this man a defense, you give this dude enough bites at the apple, I don't think there will be another situation where he's in the red zone 7 different times and only comes away with 3 touchdowns. I don't think there will be another situation where he's at the 5-yard line on 6 different occasions and he can't get it in the end zone. I don't think that's happened. I don't think we bet our money against Aaron Rodgers in those identical situations.
You just said he was in decline earlier in the show.
I said that over the last couple of years, this is what we're seeing from him. But the flip side to it is that, again, Mike McCarthy, the relationship reportedly wasn't great. You got a new head coach right now. You're trying to figure things out with him. You might have had the authority to audible. You might have had the authority to make play calls and what have you. But you might have wanted to vibe with this new guy because you are undefeated. You want to show that you have faith in him. You want to give him the benefit of the doubt, et cetera, et cetera. There could be a lot of things that go into the equation. I have no idea. But I'm saying these are plausible things to conjure up. And as a result, if you look at the rest of the NFC, yeah, we got Dallas. I understand that. We got the Eagles. That can't be ignored. It was a damn good game last night. It wasn't a blowout. Chicago, Mitchell Trubisky's a question mark. Minnesota, Kirk Cousins is a question mark. Drew Brees is hurt. Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons are a question mark. Well. The Rams with Todd Gurley, that's a question mark. Seattle just lost last week. That's a question mark. Don't tell me that Green Bay isn't a Super Bowl contender in the NFC. It's very, very possible. We don't know who the hell's coming out of that conference.
There's a strict formula that Green Bay has to follow if they want to be a Super Bowl contending team. And it goes run the ball first, play good defense, and then let Aaron Rodgers do his magic. If they get away from that formula, they got to 3-0 with that formula. Then they got away from it yesterday. And they reverted back to what you just said. Same old story, same movie. We've seen this thing. It's a rerun. They revert to that, no chance. There is absolutely no chance that they're a Super Bowl contending team. But they can get back to that formula because it was good enough to get them to 3-0. They have to figure out how to stop the run. Now, particularly what they need to do is they need to stop going in dime. Dime is where they put a lot of secondaries on the field as opposed to linebackers. If they get away from that and actually put some big guys that want to tackle and not make business decisions.
They invested in their secondary in recent years.
They did, and I understand that because it's a pass-happy defense. But all of a sudden, when you run up against a Philadelphia that says, I don't care about passing the ball. Carson Wentz doesn't care about getting his numbers. We're just going to run the ball right at you. If you're going to face that again with the Dallases of the world, with the Todd Gurleys of the world, so you have to get back to that
Think about
formula.
before this season started real quick, Stephen A. Who did you think was the most talented team in the NFC North?
In the NFC North?
Before the season started.
Before the season was Chicago.
Right. And if you didn't hear Chicago, a lot of the Sharpies, right, were saying, actually, it's Minnesota. No one was saying Green Bay in terms of most talent.
Because we didn't think they had a defense.
But as usual, we were like, but are they on the outskirts of the Super Bowl scene? Yeah, because of Aaron Rodgers. It's the same old thing. And you just said he's in decline, and he has not looked the same in the last about year and a half.
I said he's looked in decline the last year and a half.
Else.
I ain't going to say it is because he can just wreak havoc.
And let me tell you what the difference is now, too. And I know it's not the NFC, but we always thought, but Aaron Rodgers can do things no one has ever been able to do. Except now there's Patrick Mahomes, who can do every single thing and maybe more than Aaron Rodgers at his best. And Mahomes got offensive weapons everywhere and a coach that clicks with him who understands modern offense.
But why do you talk? Like, just because Mahomes could do it, that suddenly negate what Aaron Rodgers brings to the table. And in other words, what I'm trying to say to you is like, for example, we can sit up there and talk basketball all we want to, for example, and talk about the individual skill sets of a particular individual, right? And how that individual can propel you to new heights. Football is a different ball game, as you know a hell of a lot better than all of us. Aaron Rodgers can't help your defense play better. He can't help your special teams perform. There's a lot of different components. But you talk like, oh, my goodness, now we got somebody that could do what we thought or what we saw Aaron Rodgers do and maybe even a little bit better. Like, that takes away from Aaron Rodgers, and it doesn't.
I'll tell you why it does. Because the real reason, like boil it down, why we think the Pac has a chance is because he can do things no one else can
but
do.
Max.
But actually, there's someone else.
Who beat Minnesota and who beat Chicago?
Sure.
Who beat them already?
The defense.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
So if we're going to talk about...
The defense played a big part.
Which is fine, and that's why I said there's a formula for them. It's a very strict formula. But if we're going to talk about the Chicagos of the world have a chance because of the talent, or maybe Minnesota because of their talent.
No, I don't think so.
They got beaten by Green Bay.
No, but I don't think so. I think they're flawed. I don't believe in Trubisky. I don't believe in Kirk Cousins.
So none of the NFC North has a Super Bowl contending team. No team from the NFC North will make it to Super Bowl, has a chance. None of them are contenders.
You can say that there are three teams in the second or third tier of teams.
Can I say this
with
to you?
a chance,
Let me answer this question. I would say yes, and I would say Minnesota. Do you know why? Because they are a different team when Dalvin Cook is on that field.
Yeah,
exactly. Football. If you've got a defense and you got a running back like this brother, who by the way is averaging 6 yards a carry,
who's got to stay on the field, by the way.
I understand we all know that, but the point is, if he's healthy and on the field,
yes.
Kirk Cousins complete 58% of his passes. He's been almost garbage. But you got a running game, you got a defense. It matters.
You believe that Kirk Cousins is going to come through under pressure
No,
with the
I'm
money
just
on
saying.
the line?
No, I just finished saying a running game and a defense can propel
If you put Aaron Rodgers on the Vikings or the Bears, you have a Super Bowl contender.
Because you have to look at the formula. The NFC North is built all the same way, and what LaFleur is that?
Their Super Bowl hopes are going to hit LaFleur.
They have to match what's in their division. In their division is strong defense, good running game. He tried to do that, and he did do that.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.